when I go into someone's home, like I did today, I was inspecting a home that was only partially finished in the past, and I discovered a home office, so I will send them a form. And they may or may not have much equipment. I don't know. We don't know until we ask.
So that brings me to another question, is that, you know, for example, I have a laptop computer that I use for my work. It's not expenses that I get reimbursed for work, but I'm able to claim some of those expenses on my taxes. My employer doesn't reimburse me. Am I considered running a home business because I do work at home and,
No.
you know?
You're not.
So how do we figure out what we claim? I mean, Ron has said that, you know, previously $1,500 limit, you don't have to put anything down. I mean, so I'm
I
not
don't,
sure
that,
what it
that's,
is you.
that is a urban myth, $1,500, urban myth. You take everything that the business has, you put it on the form, the computer, we put it in the computer, it depreciates it down to a base of 30%. If it's in units, today it says it's worth 30% of its original cost. We come up with a number. We multiply that by the percent of value, and we come up with the final number. We find out what the mill rate's gonna be, and we apply the mill rate to that final number, and we send out a tax.
So does the vehicle you pay excise tax on, it's exempt from the personal property?
If you pay excise tax, it doesn't go on personal property. But if you pay excise tax, and it's let's say it's a 1999 John Deere loader, and you say, oh, I'm gonna excise it, you've lost that money completely. But if you put it on personal property, you get that money back. So it's, for most people, it's cheaper to pay the personal property and get the reimbursement on stuff that's newer than 95. And let's face it, from 95 till now, we're talking 15 years. So most equipment is either been replaced or you find very few companies with seriously older equipment. And if it is, no.
The Rockefellers don't live in Lisbon.
Started out, that same type front-end loader might have been $20,000 in 1980. So depreciated, it's not a high value. But I can't pick and choose who we assess. If the town tells me not to do this, we won't do it. And we'll pay higher taxes on our homes and our land. It's that simple.
What if you've got a piece of equipment that's only in town a couple months a year?
It doesn't matter where it is, sir. It's where your business is located. When you fill out your income tax form, it says Joe, Lisbon Falls, that's it. Now, you take a company like Crystal Springs, Poland Springs, they bring stuff into town. They're not in town at all, but we tax them. We tax there's any number of companies throughout the United States that send us a personal property declaration every year without asking. We don't have to send them a form or anything. They send the form in because they know it's the law, and they're renting or leasing a piece of equipment. Now, I just had one come in that said that this particular company had ended its contract with a certain contractor, and that the contractor had retained the piece of equipment. So now I'm going to have to check with him to see if he kept it or whether he got rid of it. But in the past, the leasing company was paying for that piece of equipment, not the contractor.
You had mentioned a minute ago that, let's say you come to a shop or here, there's a soda machine that the soda company owns or outside party. You're now, if that winds up on the front of that manifest list you have there. You're gonna go after the soda company,
Yep.
whatever else for the tax.
Coke and Pepsi both file automatically. The ice companies, one out of Brewer and O'Hara out of Rockland, they pretty much file automatically.
Copy of companies.
Oh, yeah, that kind of, anything like that, canteen services, very, all the vending companies, they know, and they pretty much just send you a form without being asked. They send you, for instance, Oakhurst Dairy might have milk machines in the school. They
Now, I've
send
got
you a
another
form.
quick question to add to that. So you're gonna feed this information to your computer, and this magic computer is gonna take that $25,000 number, 8 years old, it automatically knows that this crystal ball is gonna depreciate this. It knows the depreciation.
Pretty much.
Spits out a, really? So that
Based on
knows,
statistics, but yeah.
that, depending on, doesn't matter what it is for a piece of equipment, that automatically knows.
It does, in the sense that this is done in 42 states, this tax. And big states like Michigan and Connecticut and big industrial states have just a complete division that deals with this. In Maine, because we do things in a municipal basis instead of a regional basis, it falls on us. But we're using the same kind of software, and the software companies have been doing this for a long while. They work statistically, yes. Now, let's say that we come up with a number for your business of $25,000 total. And you come in and say, Pat, it isn't there, there's no way. So we'll go take a look. And I said, I agree. So we change it. But until we get the data, we can't do anything.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, it is. And that's, unfortunately, right now, personal property is a it's a porcupine in a hole which you stick in your hand into. I hate personal property, but I can't be asked to do a job and do it in a haphazard manner. I've got to do it as best I can.
I have a question, but that lady over there had their hand up.
Oh,
quite a
I'm
while.
sorry.
Thanks. Well, I guess I just wonder, I mean, it seems like this is gonna take you a lot of time to enter it in the computer. It's gonna take all of us tons of time. I mean, I can imagine, I have tons of tools, but I can imagine Ron like listing every single last of the wrenches. I mean, it just seems like, is the amount of money that you're actually gonna get from us businesses here in Niagara Falls gonna be worth like all this extra time?
Oh, yes.
And is it actually gonna reduce our property taxes?
Yes. If it doesn't reduce them, at least it'll hold them down.
I don't know. I don't think it encourages businesses to be here in Lisbon. It doesn't encourage me to go out and buy more things from Aubuchon's to use in my business if I'm constantly, if I'm constantly getting taxed for things.
Okay, let's switch right now to the reimbursement programs and the exemption programs, because
No, there's some people that have questions, and I think it's very important.
this might answer them.
Oh, well, I think you should let them ask their questions.
That's the questions to talk.
Okay.
Well, my question was, who reimburses and how? Do you reimburse the state or the federal government, and when and how?
Okay, the reimbursement program, the better program, we tax the businesses pay the town, the businesses fill out the form, and the state reimburses them. So the town gets its money, and the residents get their money back.
You hope.
Well, to a certain extent. And don't ask, yeah, it's, to me, personal property is 5 times as much work as real estate and 20 times as much aggravation. However, this is what we do, and it definitely will keep your property taxes down. If